What happens when a room full of powerful people stay silent, but a child speaks the truth? At a luxurious billionaire party in Los Angeles, no one dared to challenge the angry fiancé, who ruled the room with fear. Staff stayed quiet. Guests looked away until one small moment changed everything. A maid stood humiliated. A crowd stayed silent, and then her toddler said just 4 simple words that shocked everyone. Before we begin, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, so you never miss powerful stories like this. Now let's get started. The grand ballroom in Los Angeles sparkled with elegance, filled with powerful guests dressed in designer suits and shimmering gowns. Crystal chandeliers glowed above, and soft music drifted through the air as waiters moved gracefully between conversations. It was one of the most exclusive parties of the year, hosted by billionaire Daniel Harrison. Yet despite the luxury, an uncomfortable tension lingered beneath the surface because of one person, Vanessa. Daniel's fiancée stood at the center of attention, her beauty matched only by her sharp, intimidating presence known for her temper. She spoke to staff with open disrespect, her voice often rising above the music. No one dared challenge her. Guests simply smiled politely. Pretending not to notice, near the edge of the hall, stood Clara, a quiet maid holding her young toddler's hand. She had been instructed to assist during the event, keeping her head down and avoiding trouble. Her son clung to her side, wide-eyed at the dazzling surroundings. Clara tried her best to remain invisible. As she carefully moved past a group of guests, Vanessa suddenly turned, her expression hardening. "Watch where you're going," she snapped loudly, drawing immediate attention. The music seemed to fade as his eyes shifted toward them. I'm sorry, ma'am," Clara said softly, lowering her gaze. But Vanessa wasn't finished. She stepped closer, her tone cutting and humiliating. "People like you should learn your place. This isn't your world." The room fell silent. No one spoke, no one intervened. Clarice gripped tightened around her son's tiny hand, her face pale but composed. She refused to argue, knowing the consequences. But beside her, the little boy looked up, not with fear but confusion. As Vanessa continued her harsh words, the child took a small step forward, his voice gentle yet clear. "Why are you so mean in that instant?" Time seemed to stop. The child's soft voice lingered in the air, echoing through the grand ballroom with a clarity that silenced every whisper. For a moment, no one moved. Vanessa stood frozen, her expression caught between anger and disbelief, as if she couldn't comprehend what had just been said, or who had dared to say it. The little boy didn't step back. He simply looked at her, his small hand still holding his mother's, his eyes filled with innocent honesty rather than fear. Clara's heart pounded as she gently tried to pull him closer, worried about what might come next. But it was already too late. The moment had taken hold of the entire room. Guests began exchanging glances. The same people who had remained silent before now shifted uncomfortably, their expressions changing. Some looked down in quiet shame. Others watched Vanessa carefully. Waiting for her reaction, Vanessa opened her mouth, ready to respond sharply, but no words came. For the first time that evening, she had nothing to say. Then Daniel stepped forward. His presence alone commanded attention, but tonight there was something different, something colder, more decisive. He looked first at the child, then at Clara, and finally at Vanessa. The silence deepened. "He's right," Daniel said, his voice calm but firm enough to carry across the room. A ripple of shock spread through the guests. Vanessa turned to him quickly. "Daniel, it's just a kid." "No," he interrupted, his tone unwavering. "It's the truth." The weight of his words settled heavily. Years of ignored behavior seemed to surface in that single moment. Straightening his posture, Daniel made his decision clear, not with anger but with certainty. "This ends tonight." Gasps filled the room as realization spread. Vanessa's confidence crumbled, replaced by stunned silence. Daniel then turned to Clara. His voice softening, he apologized sincerely and assured her that she and her son would always be treated with respect. Moments later, the quiet broke, not with fear but with gentle applause. What no one else had dared to say. A child had spoken, and it changed everything.